Hi, welcome to day 5 of your push to Emerald. This is Blakely. This is Team Millennium. But by now you should already know that because this is day 5. Okay, so today we are going to focus on the to-do list. So when I first signed up as a coach, I knew I needed to add people to my network. I knew I needed to chat with people, and I knew I needed to share my journey and what I was doing. I really didn't know what else to do. And then one day, maybe a year and a half into coaching, I discovered the to-do list. I want to make it clear that I didn't know what else to do because I was not being a student first. Matter of fact, I pretty much refused to learn anything for some odd reason when I first joined. So, I digress. The to-do list. Basically, this keeps you focused in a way that keeps you doing the important behaviors, otherwise known as the 3 vital behaviors, every day. And when you have it in this focused written form here, you are able to put blinders up. And the reason why not only do you want to make a list, a to-do list, so you know what you're having to do each day, but you also want to write it down because chatting with people, it is so important to write down who you've talked to, what you talked about, how you know them, and to make sure also to follow up with them. I have lost countless customers to either personal trainers or gyms or even to other coaches because I forgot to follow up with them. So it is very important to keep track. Some people like to do this electronically in their phone. Some people like to do this on paper or in Evernote on their computer. I've got Evernote. But to be honest, I'm a pen and paper gal, and it would probably be best for me to consolidate this list, and I've tried doing that, but my organization problems really come down to time, and for me, this is best because I can thumb back through here, and I can look and say, oh, I invited Shaquita and a week ago, but I never checked back with her. Or so-and-so, I talked to her, and her father's in the hospital, and she was really concerned, but I never actually checked back to see how he was doing. That's kind of rude. You know, anything like that. Honestly, I write it in here. So the other thing that I do with this is that at the end of each week, I tally up how many people I've invited to a challenge group, how many people I've invited to the coaching opportunity, and I also tally up how many people I've followed up with, what personal development I'm reading. That way I can keep track personally of what I'm actually doing with my business. Because otherwise it's pretty easy with this business to lose the focus and to not really be doing anything productive. You can be running challenge groups, but if you're not running new ones and you're not asking new people, well, you're going to run out of income. You're not going to bring in commission. And you could be inviting, and then the next week inviting nobody, and then wonder why you have no new coaches. So it's just best to keep track of what you're doing and to actually remember that you are a CEO. This is your business. So what actually is on the to-do list? Okay, so there are 3 vital behaviors, right? The 3 vital behaviors are to invite, personal development, and be a product of the product. So basically the to-do list is a focused way of doing those things. So let's start with product of the product. I actually don't have this written on my to-do list because it's something that I actually do second nature. So I don't have to write it down anymore. That's a workout, and that's your shake. If you are not at the point to where you're doing that every day, then you need to write that on your daily to-do list and make sure you're checking it off. A workout and a shake. So that's being a product of the product, right? Also, making sure your nutrition is key. Check that off. The other thing that's really, really important is your posts. So I don't have this on my to-do list because I personally don't need to check it off. It's second nature. You want to have 2 social media platforms, right? For me, it's Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. For other people, it could be Pinterest. It could be Twitter, although Twitter, I don't even understand it. It doesn't have to be Facebook. I don't advise you to do more than 2, only because it's hard enough as it is. You don't want this taking over your life. So I do 3 posts a day on my Facebook from my personal page and my like page. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're shared. I'm finding that posting different things separately from each page gains more traction. That's a whole other training video, to be honest with you, so we're not going to go there. But make sure on your to-do list you have 3 posts a day on Facebook and then Instagram as well, or if you're a Pinterest person, Pinterest, whatever your social media platform is. Make sure that's what you're doing. I also have on my, and I do have this on my checklist, I don't have a problem communicating and networking on Facebook, but I will completely forget about Instagram. So I have on here to spend at least 15 minutes a day liking and talking and communicating and hitting follow on Instagram people and their pages. I spend 15 minutes at least. So that's on here. Here are the other things I have. Add 3 people a day to your network, whether that's social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, whether it's in person, whether it's just by email. So say you're at the grocery store and you have on your Insanity Max t-shirt and somebody comes to you and talks to you about it and you're like, hey, yeah, you can find me on Facebook. Bam, there's your new person. If it's a new coworker that has become your Facebook friend, that's a new person. If it's a new person that you go to school with, I think you're understanding. 3 new people a day. If you can do more, then that's even better. And then another part of the to-do list is to message 3 new people. This is not to say to your new friend Jackie, hey Jackie, I am a Beachbody coach. Do you want to do a program with me? No. That means say you add Jackie as a new friend on Facebook. You know, spend a week just posting, maybe even stalking her a little bit, just liking her page, her pictures if you do actually like them. Don't lie. Comment below them, you know, and then one day you just send her a message and say, hey, nice to meet you. I thought I would formally introduce myself. How are you doing? That is how I message people. And I message 3 new people a day. Sometimes I will message people that are new Facebook friends right away, or that are new friends or neighbors. I meet people everywhere. And that's how you add to your network. Social media just makes it a whole lot easier. Okay, so I also reconnect with 3 people a day. Maybe there's someone from your childhood that you have as a Facebook friend, but yet you don't see them in your newsfeed anymore. Go visit their page. Hit like, comment, send them a message. Maybe you have an old coworker from back in the day that you haven't talked to or seen on Facebook or Instagram. Hit them up. Maybe you've got a cousin that lives in Canada that you haven't talked to in years. Send them a text. There's your 3 people you've reconnected with. It's not even about business. What happens is they see you posting, you reconnect with them, and they ask you about fitness, and they ask for your advice. And that is when you get the new customers and the new coaches. I digress. That's another training video. Follow up with 3 people a day. So say 2 days ago, I asked John if he wanted to join my challenge group. I never got a response from him. So I send him a message and I say, hey John, are you still considering da-da-da? Whether it's the coaching or the challenge group. That's literally how I do it. Sometimes I'll even say, hey John, did you get my last message? Because the way and we've all been a victim of this, when you get those dings, and if you click on it and then say your mom asks you to go scratch her back, and you go scratch her back, and then you forget all about that message, and it's not a new message anymore, so you lose it and forget about it, and that was a potential client and someone that you could have helped. The one that I am still to this day working on is invite 3. Okay, so you've got add 3 new people, message 3 new people, reconnect with 3 people, follow up with 3 people, invite 3 people. Do you see a pattern? So my goal is to invite 3 new people to a challenge group a day. I really struggle with this unless I've posted a post and that says, "Hey, I'm having a new challenge group," and people are liking and commenting. I have a hard time inviting people just random. I personally do not like to cold invite. I will go back and ask people I've asked before that I knew it wasn't the right time, or I will go back and maybe even someone look at a past post I've made about a challenge group and invite them, or if it's the perfect time in an inbox conversation or even in person, then I will invite. But my goal is to invite 3 people a day. The other thing on my to-do list is business messages. I myself get very, very caught up in the news feed. I also get caught up in stupid conversations that make no sense in my inbox, maybe watching a video on YouTube. So I have business messages because say it's tight, your day is tight on time, which what day isn't? And that way I can go through my inbox and answer the ones that I know are pertaining to business, that are important, that I need to get to before I get to talking to Tammy about her mama's brother's sister's cousin, if that makes sense. Then I have on here a coach invite. So 3 to a challenge group, 1 coach invite a day. Oddly enough, this has become my easy one. I'm not exactly sure why, because it used to be my hard one. It was the one I was really, really, really scared to ask. But now I've gotten to realize the worst thing these people are going to say is no. That's it. They're not going to judge you. They're not going to look at you any differently. I really have learned saying, "Have you ever considered coaching?" is so much easier than I ever thought it could be. And that one I'll even cold invite sometimes. It just depends. And I only ask for one of myself. I also try to, and this is another hard one for me, try to do 1 training a day. And when I say training, I mean be a student. You're not just going to go open up a laundromat and not study how to do it. You're not going to go open up a bar and not learn the ins and outs of owning a bar. You know what I mean? You have to be a student of life. And this business is no different. And the more I learn, the easier it gets. So what I try to do actually, which I haven't got to this part, but the number one thing that I do on my list every day, regardless of how busy I am, is personal development. So I try to, on my way to work, because I now have a commute, please excuse that, I'm sorry, but on my way to work, I will listen to personal development on my phone. Whether it's Shalene Johnson or Shaun T, those are my 2 podcast choices for personal development. They fill me up with all kinds of happy thoughts. And that's on my way. On my way home is when I have a problem. Usually I try to do a training on the way home of some sort. I'll listen to Janelle's from that week, the wake up call replay. I'll find things on YouTube pertaining to what I feel like I'm not doing well with the business. And I'll do those on the way home. My only problem is a lot of times I will talk to potential coaches on the way home, and I will talk to challengers or even a friend or a coach on the way home. And when that happens, I'll slack on my trainings a little bit. But to be honest, it's okay. It's a balance, and I get it in where I can fit it in. We already discussed I spend 15 minutes on Instagram. Also, I put on here check and post challengers. For me, it's kind of become second nature to check into my challenge groups each day and to make sure everybody's doing okay. and to post each day for those challenges. But I know a lot of people have a hard time remembering to get into their challenge groups and to help the people that they have already agreed to help. So I make sure I have that on my to-do list. Check it off. The other thing I have, because for a long time for me, I would completely slack on actually ever going on the Team Beachbody website and checking my back office. And as an Emerald coach, we've already talked about this. This is really important because that's where your leads are going to show up. So I have on here to check my back office, see how my coaches are doing, seeing how their coaches are doing, seeing what new leads I have and emailing them if need be and adding them to my list, my contact list of people. And then I also have check emails because I have a lot of people that will email me, and because I'm diligent on that Facebook inbox, but then I'll forget all about my email. So I have that on my to-do list. Okay, so my goal is to do this every single day, but life gets in the way, and I myself personally have had a really hard time. It's almost as if I missed a workout. It was like I would start to feel guilty, and then I would start to almost dread doing my to-do list because I made it something that I had to do, if that makes any sense at all. So I try to relieve the pressure and remember that this is actually something I enjoy doing. And I know that if I didn't have a job, that I would wake up every day so excited to do this to-do list and to chat with these people. But when your life is go, 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 it's so hard to find that balance. So here's how I've found that balance. I wake up, and I know this is going to be harder for those of you with kids and you have to find your own balance, but I wake up at 4 a.m. Literally before I get out of the bed, I am working on this list. I will, from 4 to 5, check off as much as I can. And I'm going to tell you what ruins you that check off time. That's the news feed. You sit there and you will start scrolling just like this, and before you know it, 15 minutes has passed by. And that's wasted 15 minutes. So block out that news feed during your business time. Block it out. And then I go work out, do my thing. Usually in the mornings, what it is I'm doing on this to-do list is check and post on my challengers because they post all their stuff at night. So check and post my challengers. Let's see, what else do I usually get early in the morning? A post on my Instagram because I found that 4 a.m. is oddly the most popular time on Instagram. I don't really get that, but whatever. And I will usually try to hit up a couple of my new people, message like 3 people, because I can spout those out, really quickly. Sometimes I will lay there and create future posts and future content. Sometimes I will go ahead and spend my 15 minutes of Instagram. Usually I don't, though. Sometimes I'll go ahead and check my back office, and personal development gets done usually in that morning time. And then I usually go to work from 1 to 2. Here are my obstacles with my lunch break, though. If I stay in my building, it ain't happening. Everybody interrupts me, and my hour's gone, and my to-do list doesn't get done. If I go sit in my car, then my Wi-Fi is sketchy. If I go to Starbucks, my Wi-Fi is sketchy. So on a good day, I will finish the whole rest of my to-do list before my lunch break is over. And then I get to go home, do my training on the way home, or maybe talk to someone, and then I'm done. And I get to sit on my ass. That is how I balance. If I'm not done, it's okay. Because by the time that day is over, I'm spent. I'm exhausted. And I'm not going to sit here and just beat myself up about something that, if I beat myself up, it's no longer fun. On my days off, I try to do the things extra. Like, I do the choreographed workouts. I make these training videos for y'all. On my days off, I try to spend a little bit more time each day. If possible, sometimes the days off run away as well. But either way it goes, the vital behaviors get done every day. I invite someone every day. I do personal development every day. And I'm a product of the product every day. Those are your 3 vital behaviors. So this is probably the most important training of your push to Emerald. I'm not going to expect you to know everything I just said. I'm hoping maybe you took notes. Maybe I should have said that in the beginning. There should be, in our file section of our Team Millennium group, there should be a copy of the to-do list up there for your viewing pleasure. So find what works for you, get you a notebook, maybe your phone, and get at it. Let's help some people, y'all. Let's make this Millennium Nation.